loves greatly to be praised.
Hallelujah.
Oh, the Lord loves greatly to be praised.
Amen.
Oh, the Lord loves greatly to be praised.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. Oh, the Lord loves greatly to be praised.
Hallelujah.
This little song my mother sang to me, and my grandmother sang it to me. And it can be sung for a boy or a girl. A tiny turned-up nose, two cheeks just like a rose, so sweet from head to toe, that little boy of mine. No one will ever know just what his coming has meant, because I love him so. He's something heaven has sent. He's all the world to me. He climbs upon my knee. To me he'll always be that little boy of mine. Now I'll sing it to a little girl. A tiny turned-up nose, two cheeks just like a rose, so sweet from head to toe, that little girl of mine. No one will ever know just what her coming has meant, because I love her so. She's something heaven has sent. She's all the world to me. She climbs upon my knee. To me she'll always be that little girl of mine. This is a song that my father stood me in the corner. I was about 12 years old, and he said, I want you to learn this, and he wouldn't let me get out of the corner till I learned it. There was an old man who had an old hat, Lie-bo-ling-dum-kai-bo, looked like Granddaddy carrying out the slop. Lie-bo-ling-dum-kai-bo, Kai-ma-nero, Captain Kiro-bo, Nye-bring-dum, sick-a-nickel-bob-a-nickel, Lie-bo-ling-dum-kai-bo. Now, if you can do that, you're doing good. This next song I learned when I went to YWCA camp, Young Women's Christian Association. We went to Camp Wildwood, and I was about 12 years old. The big bad man was a desperado from Cripple Creek to Colorado, and he roared around like a big tornado, and everywhere he went he made the war hoop. One day his big tornado came a-roaring down the street. He roared into a policeman who was wearing down his beat. He grabbed him by the collar, and he grabbed him by the seat, and he couldn't give his war whoop. A big bad man was a desperado from Cripple Creek to Colorado, and he roared around like a big tornado, and everywhere he went his halt gave his war whoop. War hoop. War hoop. War hoop. The next song is Mother May I Go Out to Swim. It's a kind of a poem, more or less. Mother, may I go out to swim? Yes, my darling daughter. Hang your clothes on a hickory limb, but don't go near the water. Charles has a song he wants to share with you also.
This started out today when pastor of a local church that we're trying to help here, raising funds to build a new sanctuary and all that kind of stuff. He just called just out of the blue and says, it's so encouraging. You're just such an encourager to people. You're always helping people. And I was thinking about that. Joy and I was praying and just sharing together. And I remember I told her, I said, back in the 80s, we took our kids to church camp. And there was this couple there for leading music, Earl and Cozy Pittman, precious, precious saints of God. And they taught all the kids at camp, and here we are, adults. You know, we were the counselors. And I think I got blessed more than anybody. And that song went something like this. Make me a servant, humble and meek. Lord, let me lift up those who are weak, and may the prayer of my heart always be, make me a servant, make me a servant, make me a servant today. I remember singing that at the, like we had a little fire, you know, with kids that all sat around the fire. And I think we even sang in the mess hall. Had a big old barn, but it was converted into like a, a mess hall setting. And that was Earl and Cozy Pittman. Then they were both teachers at Dayton Christian School. And I think that's what they were. That's where we met them, through our church and everything. And then one day the women had a meeting, Women's WMC, Women's Missionary Group, and Cozy was the guest speaker. And she came, good-looking woman, and had an oxygen tube around her neck and up in her nose. And carried that little bottle. I thought, oh my gosh. And I was up in the sound room recording. And she sang. She shared her testimony and sang. And we got all that on tape. The thing was, later we come to checking it out, found out she had some kind of a rare disease in her lungs. And later it took her life. She went on home to be with the Lord. So Cozy, we're talking about you. We're praising the Lord for your life. You meant so much, so many kids. And there's even us adults that you affected our life. Because ever since I've been singing that little song, just in my spirit. Sometimes sing it to Joy. Sometimes I'll sing it to other people to encourage them. They'll say, Charles, why do you do all this stuff? Why are you helping all these people? I just sing that song. I said, well, kind of goes like this. Make me a servant, humble and meek. Lord, let me lift up those who are weak. And may the prayer of my heart always be, make me a servant, make me a servant, make me a servant today. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.